And, you know, I remember my dad telling me a story when I was a kid about Jim Brown and you know, he was making a joke about a track athlete. Like one team had 47 athletes and one bus, like 4 guys got off the bus. Who was it? Jim Thorpe. Jim Thorpe won like 15 events. That was Brad. Brad is Ben Salm's version of Jim Thorpe. All right? Brad's sacrifice, it's a story I told my basketball players. It's a story I tell my athletes every year as a high school athletic director. It's a story I tell at my Division I luncheon, at the college signing day. Anytime an athlete comes to my office, I don't usually always use Brad's name, but I tell Brad's story. Brad sacrificed himself for the team. So one of my favorite sayings as a coach is it's about what's on your chest, not your back. Across your chest says Ben Salem. Across your back says your last name. Brad could have very, very easily went out to Shippensburg his senior year and won the gold in 3 or 4 events. A couple of relays, a couple of individual events. Instead, Coach Malloy and Brad, who were on the same wavelength, Brad entered like 8 events. I don't know how he competed in all those events. He was dog tired. And one of the things, and I don't think it's a regret for Brad because I think it's one of the reasons he won the state championship, Brad got second in his event because it was like the 15th time he ran with all the qualifying heats and then the medal races. And it's just something that as a coach, I'm never going to forget. It's one of the things why I have the ultimate respect for this young man, because he could have got another personal gold, but it would have meant that Ben Salem probably wouldn't have won a state championship. But because he did so many events and so many relays and basically put Ben Salem on his back literally to win a state track championship, first one since 1987, outdoors, right, it cost him his own personal gold for a silver. And it's just something as a coach that I'm just never going to forget. And even though I'm not inducting Brad, I had to tell that story because he's the man. It's that simple. Now I'd like to call Mr. Frazier as a few words before Coach Malloy.
Are we on? I'm lucky enough to know Brad since he first walked into Belmont Hills Elementary School. Just like so many other people here tonight, I got to know them when they got to gym class at Belmont. It's really easy for kids like Brad, Raju, Cameron, Lexi, that's some of the other guys. By the second or third time, sorry about that, I forgot anybody else. By the second or third time in gym class, I realized that this kid is athletically special. It's, everybody's not like that. Amelia Ali, who was inducted today, did some great things, set records at Ben Salem, still has records at Dartmouth. She said to me tonight when I first saw her, she goes, you know, I didn't really think I was very good at gym class. You really pushed me. I said, well, I thought you were better than you thought. But kids like Brad, they walk into class and 2 to 3 weeks, you know that this kid's way, way special. So I'll tell you a couple other stories. I thought I was a pretty good athlete in high school, and we're doing the physical fitness tests. So I did very well and went to presidential. 17 at that point. So Brad's, obviously his forte in track was the 800 or 400, and in the middle is the 600, which is the presidential event that I knew he was going to do great in. So we get to the event, he's like frothing at the mouth, and everybody's saying, well, why should we even run? Because you want to win a presidential too. So he gets to the last 100 yards, and he's about 14 or 15 seconds setting not just Belmont's record, but the whole school district record for the 600. I'm screaming my head off. So he has to do the 100 yards after running the first 500 yards in somewhere around 15 seconds, which is a good time for anybody, you know, unless you're Mia Williams, any of these other tracksters. So he runs a time of 1:27, beating the old record by 4 seconds, and tying the same darn score that I got when I was 17. He's 12. So all the kids at Belmont know I make a big deal about anytime you accomplish something or a kid sets a record, you know, I'm in the cafeteria telling everybody or getting on the loudspeaker. So I make the announcement that he sets this record, blah, blah, blah. So right after the physical fitness test ends, it's a thing called sneaker day, which is other schools call it field day. So I pick the teams by splitting each class up. Best kid in the class, the best kid in the class. A good kid, a good kid. A not so good kid, a not so good kid. And I do that for every class. So Brad was on the day where it's the last of the 5 days that I picked the teams. Next morning, I got kids bugging. What? They got Brad, they're gonna win. There's 80 events. I don't care how good he is. There's 79 other events. So if the red team wins, everyone except for the one that Brad's in, red wins. They had none of that. I had parents on sneaker day bugging me, like, how? My kid's gonna lose because Brad Rivera is on this team. I like crossed my eyes and like, really? You're 40. Don't you know better? So that is how good he was, even at the level of first through sixth grade. So I want to congratulate, and I'm honored that he asked me to come up here and speak, and that we're friends. So I will leave all the statistics to his esteemed high school coach and friend, even though I have them all written down here, just in case you forget something. So don't forget, it also was Mr. Al, like so many others of you. So, Marianne, get up here and take this around. Not that you need that. Oh, I know you need this way more than this. I know that.
Let's see. Mr. Parnu Mr. Parnu Brad in high school, Mr. Frazier in elementary school. First time I met Brad, he was a year old. His father and I were competing in a relay down at Penn Relays, and I hitched a ride back to Bensalem. So from Franklin Field to Bensalem, he and I shared the back seat, and he screamed the entire ride home. It was a rocky start. Fast forward about 7 years, his mom brings him out to CYO practice. He's in second grade. And she says, he's got a lot of energy. Make him run. I want him to sleep at night. So he ran, and ran, and ran. He ended up running with the 8th graders because none of the second graders could keep up with him. That was also the first year that I coached him. I coached him from second grade all the way through 12th grade. By the time he hit high school, it was more a mother-son relationship rather than a coach-athlete relationship. 1 week, he'd quit the team. The next week, I'd throw him off the team. The next day, we'd go back and everything would be normal. We survived 4 years like that. As to what kind of athlete he was, it was spring of his freshman year. We had 3 legs of a very good 4x400 team. And we couldn't figure out which sprinter should fill the 4th spot. We went back and forth. We're just gonna have a time trial. Well, who do we open it up to? We got this kid and this kid and this kid. Just open up to anybody who wants to go for that spot. So we had 7 sprinters step forward and say, yep, I want to be part of the time trial. Here comes this little snot-nosed freshman, this distance runner. Coach, I want to do it too. We said we're going to open it up to everybody, so let the kid do it. Doesn't he win the time trial and become part of the 4x400 as a freshman? He ran at times the 4x200, the 4x400, the 4x800, the distance medley. He ran open 400s, open 800s, open miles, open 2 miles. He ran cross country. If you want to look at all his stats, yes, he's got a boatload of state medals. He's just the fiercest competitor that I've ever had the pleasure of coaching. I could say, Brad, see that kid up there? Get him. Okay. And he would. I don't have to tell him who the kid is, what school he's from, what his time is. Get him. And he would sacrifice everything to get that kid. Mr. Parr's right. He did whatever the team needed him to do. I'm pleased and honored to introduce Brad Rivera.
Let's go! Let's go!
If I wasn't nervous already. I always wondered what it would feel like when all my hard work paid off. Pretty sure this is it today. Life is not fair, never was, never will be. If you work hard, believe in yourself, you'll do great. Parents instilled this in me at a very young age. If you're lucky, like I was, you'll meet people along the way that will add fuel to your flame. And if you're really lucky, you'll be blessed to see the ability to recognize others with the same competitive DNA. So many people have added logs to my flame over the years. To start, I want to thank my parents. My arm is the definition of consistency. Even at 27 years old, still up my ass, checking in on me, making sure everything is done right. You're my biggest advocate and the matriarch to our family. I love you so much. Dad, you mastered the art of motivational psychology. You're my best friend, my mentor, and my hero. You know exactly what to say, how to say it, and when to say it. Light a fire under my ass. I appreciate all the sacrifices both of you made over the years, because without those sacrifices specifically, I want to be on the stage today with the man I became. Mr. Frazier, thank you. If you know Mr. Frazier, we were lucky enough to have him as a gym teacher. You know exactly what I mean when I simply just say thank you. If you don't know him, we can meet up after this for a few hours. We can go over why there should be a Netflix documentary about it. It's impossible to explain the impact this man has had on my success and so many others over the years in a 5-minute speech. For now, I'll leave you with one of his many quotes that stuck with me throughout life. Practice doesn't make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. Appreciate our phone calls and grabbing lunch whenever I'm home. Coach Malloy, the evil genius. You have personally inflicted more pain on my body than humanly imaginable. I didn't realize how much pain I was in until I stopped running. I found out it was not normal to hurt all the time. I don't know how many athletes get the opportunity to have a world-class coach mold them from scratch, but I did. He coached me from 2nd to 12th grade, then again the summers and holiday breaks when I'd come home from college. We didn't always see eye to eye, agree on every race strategy, but we both hated losing, and nothing came between us when it became showtime. You trained me like a thoroughbred racehorse, and without you I wouldn't be the athlete I was and the man I am today. Your philosophy of run like a bat out of hell, I still apply to my accomplishments and goals off the track today. Marcus had to leave early. He was able to motivate people in more ways than one. A lot of administrations here tonight, so I'm just going to leave it at that. I thank him for being a rock star of a coach and now one of my best friends. The saddest thing in life is wasted talent. And the choices you make today will shape your life forever. Kristen, thank you for always reminding me to stay out of trouble and do the right thing. It got me pretty far. Mr. Henderson, we've shared some great stories and always talked about the next steps in life. If you don't know, school was not my favorite activity. So I would finesse my way into Henderson's office during class. When I got back to the class I was supposed to be in, and the teacher asked me where I was, I told him learning, and I handed him a hall pass signed by Mr. Henderson.
Thank you for spending time with me and teaching me how to navigate life on and off the track. Those stories we shared about athletes, the great athletes before my time, motivated me to continue the tradition of dominance Ben Selm always had on the track. Thank you to my teammate and friends. Kyle. I was never angry and happy at the same time when you wrote me out of the record books. At the big races, everyone would talk about the top runners from the other school and what strategies they used to beat them. But at the end of the day, I knew who my biggest competition was. I ran with you every day and I knew what you were capable of. If anybody was going to erase me from the record books, I'm glad it was you, bro. Chris, Adam, Jason, Kyle, who's not here. Thank you for taking the role model role in stride. No pun intended. You guys have adopted me as a little brother, and I've looked up to you since day one. All of you have yet to fail in showing me leading by example. And that motivated me every day to fit in with you guys. Zach, we've had a hell of a lot of fun times together, brother. From little kids to recently having the privilege of staying with you at your wedding. I'm really excited you're here tonight to experience this with me. Without my teammates and friends, I physically would not be able to accomplish half of what I did on the track. Lastly, I want to thank my brother and his family for traveling all the way from Connecticut to be here and support me. Darren, Jada, Ronnie, Meg, I love you guys.
See you, bro.
The older I get, the more I realize we all have this, all we have in life are moments in time. This is my moment, this is our moment, and it's a moment I'll never forget. We've each created an image that generations will want to live up to. That's all you can ask for and why we're up here today. My time spent running at Ben Selm has opened doors I never imagined it would. It's an honor and privilege to join this elite group of athletes. Thank you.